Hey everyone, it's Angel. So a few days ago on Twitter, I put up a poll asking what my next video should be on, if it should be on the Orly nail repair kit or some freehand nail art, and I was really expecting everyone to vote for the Orly nail repair kit until Simply Nailogical came in and said she voted for freehand because she likes to see others suffer too. And then everybody basically trolled me and voted for freehand nail art, so thanks Christine. I was inspired by a manicure that NikkieTutorials, amazing beauty guru, put up. It was some gorgeous like teal green marble nail art done by her nail tech Electa Nail Art. I will link Electa Nail Art's Instagram down below so you can see the original. I will also link a video from NikkieTutorials down below where you can see a little bit more of this nail art on her fingers. Before I could start painting, I needed to do a little bit of prep work. Here I have some copper gold leaf that I needed to chop up into smaller pieces because it comes in like bigger sheets. So I used my rainbow multi-chrome nail tool to do a little slicing and dicing. Now this nail tool is super sharp. You can see that it's like cutting through the paper, so be careful. And you want to cut it up into little itty bitty pieces. And the leaf is so thin, so as you're slicing it, it kind of sticks into the paper, so I just like to kind of rub it up so that it detaches from the paper. For my base coat, I went with the Nourishing Ridge Filler from Live Love Polish, and I am going to say it, this is the greatest base coat I have ever tried. I don't exactly think it's ridge filling, but it is very long wearing. It really extends the wear time of my manis and prevents chips. And here you can also see I'm still dealing with that crack on my nail, and I've been reinforcing it a little bit by just tapping on some extra base coat onto it. And for my base color, I went with China Glaze Just a Little Embellishment, which is a teal matte from their fall 2017 collection. And look at how opaque this is and rather smoothly applying for a matte polish. This is honestly very impressive, although I have worn this color on its own and I did find that it will chip quickly because it is a matte. I was a little messy with my application, so I needed to do some cleanup, and I was really excited to bust out for the first time my brushes from So Nailicious. She is a nail artist and amazing, and she's been working on these brushes forever. She sent these to me to review, and I have been so excited to try them because this brush is so sharp and pointy that I knew it was going to be great for cleanup. Here you can see where I got the polish a little too close to my skin, so using 100% acetone. Look at that line that this just cut. That just cut so easily and so precisely. This could be my new favorite cleanup brush. I'm still gonna have to try it a few more times, but I love it so far. Even though the teal matte color was opaque on that first coat, I still decided to do a second coat of polish because who wears one coat of polish? No. And when I was looking back at my inspiration picture from Nikkie's manicure, it kind of looks gray, and I'm wondering if it was gray and not this teal green color. I don't know. Next up, I used China Glaze Teal the Fever, which is just a regular metallic glitter. This is not hollow, although you could use hollow. And I applied this to nail in a diagonal pattern, and I left it tacky, and then I'm going to apply the gold leaf to it. Now, Nikkie's mani, she did not have any glitter in it. I just wanted to add this as a little bit of an extra bit. You could just use clear polish if you didn't want glitter. And then I used an old nail art brush because I didn't want to ruin it, and I kind of moistened it with a little bit of water and then picked up the gold leaf pieces that I chopped up earlier and just sort of placed them onto the tacky polish kind of over the middle of it. And I wanted to use smaller pieces, like a little bigger towards the cuticle area, and then have them get a little bit smaller as I got down towards the free edge. And the polish stays tacky for a while, so you don't have to be super quick when you're doing this. And then once I had them all placed, I just kind of tapped them onto the wet polish to make sure that they were completely attached. I'm going to show you this step again on my middle nail just because I like this part so much. Now, if you wanted to do this a little bit differently, maybe a little bit quicker, you could probably just use a gold glitter top coat. You know how they have those gold glitters that are kind of like triangle, square shapes, or just jagged cut glitter? You could probably just sponge that onto the center of the nail and get a similar effect a little bit more quickly and maybe less annoying if you don't want to put this much work in. Now you'll notice that as the polish is drying, the gold leaf is a little bit textured, so once the polish isn't as tacky, you can just tap it down and smooth it down with your finger, and it really will smooth it out and won't be as chunky. Now to make the next step easier, you're going to want to work on a smooth surface. So I applied a layer of quick dry top coat. I used Super Chic Lacquer's liquid macro top coat. I did experiment on my other hand not using the top coat step, and it did not work as well, so I do recommend doing this. So as this was drying, I thought that it looked so beautiful. You could just stop right here and this would look great. I actually used this gold leaf in a similar technique in a video a couple months ago with some color changing polish. I will link that one down below if you want to see some other colors of gold leaf in action. To get the marble pattern effect, I used some acrylic white paint and put it on a little piece of tin foil, and then you're going to want to dilute it with some water. I'm going to be using that sharp angled brush again that I used for my cleanup. I picked up a little bit of my acrylic and water solution and just brushed it down the size of the metal gold leaf, and as you can see, it looks like I'm doing absolutely nothing. You have to be a little bit patient with this one and just keep going over the same areas again, because you don't want to just deposit straight white acrylic paint, because then it's just going to be opaque, and the water helps to make it a little bit more sheer, although as you can see, the water just wants to slip around that smooth surface of the nail. But as you keep working it, the water will dry and just leave the white paint deposited, and then here you can start to see the milky marble appearance poking through. So when I tried to do this step on my other hand without this extra layer of top coat over the polish, the acrylic paint just kind of wanted to stick to the matte teal color, but then not stick to the part that had glitter on it, and it looks weird. So even though the glossy top coat makes the water beat up on the surface here, it's what also helps it to stick to everything. I hope that makes sense. On to the next step, I'm going to be doing some of the marble veining using another brush from So Nailicious. This is the #1 Warrior brush, which is a super fine, thin, pointed detailing brush. With the #1 Warrior brush, I picked up some of the acrylic white paint, and this time you don't want it to be diluted, you just want it to be the straight white paint, and only pick up a little bit at a time. And you're going to want to go over the edges of the white milky marble area that we just laid down, and you want it to be as thin as possible, and also try to vary the thicknesses of the line so that it looks like the veining kind of going in and up and down the marble material. So you're going to want to give it a little bit dimension by varying your pressure. I feel like this first one didn't come out as good as the other nails. I'm always so nervous when I'm doing freehand lines. I should have did some more practicing, but I mean, it was all right. So as you can see on my middle nail, my lines are a little bit smoother, although that doesn't make any sense because it's marble. You don't want them to be perfectly smooth, but you can see how much quicker I was able to do these lines just because I had some more confidence, and this brush is great. I'm a big fan of this brush. It is so fine and really helped to get some beautiful details in there. And that was it. That was the last step. So once I let that dry for just a couple of minutes, because the acrylic paint dried super quick, I was able to add my top coat. I added another layer of Super Chic Lacquer's liquid macro top coat. Ooh, and look at how that top coat just brings out the copper flake. I feel like once you add that top coat, it just really pops off that teal color. So that completes my nail look inspired by NikkieTutorials and her nail artist Electa Nail Art. Don't forget, I will have her link down below. She does some beautiful sets of nails. I definitely recommend you guys give her a follow. And even though I was kind of kicking myself for doing the Twitter poll because I'm such a baby when it comes to freehand, honestly, I gotta thank you guys for voting in my Twitter poll because I love the way these came out. I think they came out pretty great, and with a little bit more practice, I think I could work on my lines a little more and maybe make them a little bit more finer. If you're in the mood for more marble nail art, I will link this Sharpie nail art down below. This one was a little bit more involved, had a lot more steps, and I did a similar technique with the acrylic paint, but instead I used some Sharpies. It was kind of crazy. And you can also follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at @twy_star. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.